Mic check.
Michael's check back. Everything is kawa. I already set everything up.
Damn.
Bro.
This is what we came for.
Welcome to another episode of the Third Men podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, welcome back, Seth, from wherever you've been. And today we have
See terrible things.
Mark, Squizy. What other name do you go by?
Mark, Squizy, Mugaanyi, you know, my names.
Mugaanyi obeera wachi?
Mugaanyi, ndi Muganda.
Yeah, obe akabiro.
Neddira Nsuma.
Oh, right. Nsuma is...
I don't know if you know it. Even Baganda tebagimanyi.
Nsuma is...
Omanye Nkeje.
Yes.
So Nsuma is Nkeje size, but for it, omwagwayo gulingo ogwenjofu. So it's like a snout like this. It's called the elephant snout fish. Very small workout.
Okay.
It's those kinds of things.
You guys are losing me, man.
For some reason...
You know Nkeje?
Yeah, you know the...
Okay, you know
silver
Mukene.
fish, it's
Yeah, you know
Mukene.
Mukene.
Then there's the
Silverfish.
bigger one. Usually, like you see it like on shops, it's on the sticks.
I know.
So even Suma, sometimes you'll find it on sticks like that.
Like with like a small snout.
Yeah, it has like as if an
Like
elephant
an
snout.
elephant snout, but like a young one. So it's like an elephant that never gum development. Stop.
Actually, when I was young, because I was like in Suma church, and they were like, you know, when they told me a china bone, like a long nose, at first I thought it was a swordfish. Like, kati atezo zimali nzava wo kujeni. You know, so for the longest time, then I didn't manage checho.
But we are swordfish in Uganda, like in our lakes.
Those things are, I think they are marine
They
animals.
they like the sea.
Yeah.
Salty water.
Salty water. No.
Because they can flex, you know, they're probably the fastest fish.
Because of that cutting that is streamlined, it goes.
So if you put it in Victoria, I know Victoria is big, but you know,
No, but also
it reaches those ends and it will turn around. It will run out of thinking.
But also I heard that Nile perch like it's like other small fish.
Yeah, Nile perch is, first of all, it was just brought.
Yeah, it was just introduced.
So it's not from
Anyway,
here.
where do you think the most Nile perch is in like in which country do you think that most Nile perch is? Is it Kenya, Tanzania, or Uganda?
Huge.
That's
where you go wrong. It's Tanzania. I got it wrong at quiz and I was also shocked.
Really?
Yeah.
Tanzania guys, they didn't have like the biggest
it has
part
the bigger
of the lake.
part of the lake.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it has the biggest part of the lake.
So basically, it has more Nile perch just because it has a lot of water.
Yes.
Well, what if we go like with the percentage, like
When
say
you go to the density,
number of
nitty-gritties,
density,
Per
number of
capita
fish,
things.
per capita things.
And again, per capita.
No. I think let's.
Economics.
It was a simple question. I think let's
Let us
leave
not
it there
over.
because the central tendency of the hypothesis is anal.
What Andy say? with your stat sheet.
I told you, stats, that's the worst part of math. I do not like stats.
No,
Yes,
but
I did stats.
I think the thing I liked about stats in math is they make sense of numbers.
Yeah.
Like someone just slapping numbers at you.
Like, that was the only good part of it. Like,
That's
you
the
know,
good part.
you understand what you're doing, like
Yeah.
where you're going.
But
But those random things of, we show that this is equal to this, and then everything is filled with
algebra.
Greek letters and
algebra,
Over alpha, over beta,
This
over
one's
theta,
trigonometry.
over
geometry.
those are the
useless
things.
things we studied.
Up to now, I'm trying to see in how I can use the Canadian prairies. You know, how best the wheat can come through from Edmonton.
Yeah, by the way, I was looking at that map today. I don't know why I was doing it, but oh yeah, I wanted to see where Buffalo is.
Buffalo, New York.
Yeah. Then I found that, you know, the Canadian border is actually very near to those places.
Very.
Like, I think when you're in Buffalo,
Which
if you look
places?
across.
Like which places? The prairies.
No, you see, you know where Niagara Falls is, eh?
Yes.
So that whole thing where
Actually, I
there are
don't know,
those,
but I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I know
See,
Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
you know those weird lakes, what are they called?
Michigan.
Those
The
ones.
Great Lakes, the
area.
Great Lakes.
So the Canadian border cuts halfway through them, like, so, like, you know, it divides each lake. along its length, like this, like this.
Oh, yes.
So they are very near themselves. As plus, like okay, but sometimes you actually think the US is big. I have a feeling
Canada could be bigger.
it might be. Yeah,
You're planning to go to Canada. Why is that?
it's cold, man.
It's cold.
It's cold.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Plus, Canada has a lot of work sheets.
Chill the walk shit. It's cold.
Yeah, man, coldness, first of all.
I'm very Ugandan.
I don't know how Rwandese are able to go to Canada. Like most of them, most of the affluent Rwandese, they are all in Canada. I don't know what they like about Canada.
Nigeria.
But you see, also the good thing is both francophone and anglophone. I think it taps into actually the Rwanda dream of trying to be anglophone now.
And apparently, I think Canada has like a friendly immigration policy. Like,
Yeah, but they've been trying to tighten it because everyone has been trying to go.
They realize they have not been some useless.
I blame the Yahoo boys.
Those guys, they mess it up for everyone.
They mess it up for everyone, everywhere.
Because guys were going there, and you can easily cross into the US when you're in Canada.
Yeah.
Because they're
And
like,
live the American dream. Why?
Illegal immigrants.
yeah.
But illegal immigrants in US suffer. You have to be on the if police snubs, whether it's like a DUI, anything, to deport your ass.
Nah, you go.
But I think, let me just ask, do they like pay the fare for deporting?
They just put you on the plane. They're like, go.
But just go.
Because there's always space on those planes that are coming.
All right.
The ones that are going are full. The ones that are going there are full.
It's coming out. Space.
There's that thing, as they said, what is it? 400 workers are taken daily to go to the Middle East to work.
From UG.
From UG alone,
I think I also
400.
saw it.
So you can tell that the planes are full. But when you're those ends,
Coming back.
they're very hospitable when they're taking you away.
They're like,
Give you a coffee, what?
Do you want
Properly. Then they put you on the plane.
They're like, you go.
Now come on, no? And then the special guy at the airport quote some funny figures for you to bring you to Kampala.
But the plane was free.
I am telling you. There's a time I was coming back and one of those guys, man, the zeros were too many for my liking. I was like, let's first be is better one no munyonyo. Why are you quoting that big figure?
Where were you coming from?
From the airport.
You remember that time when I think we had gone to Germany?
I think it was Form 5,
Yeah. Yeah, the only thing I like about that is that, I didn't do exams. It was so nice.
End of term. End of term, right?
Yes.
You guys, I think all German guys were promoted. None of you guys.
But no, the thing is, the other guy they had expelled him. Remember, for Zaz. Stats. And so
how do you try to copy in a stats paper?
I tell you how you try to copy. That's the easiest part to copy. From just Xerox that niggas numbers and put them here in your paper.
He was trying to zero.
Because you remember we had
I think he was the one
which had the formula.
So guys were copying through the books.
No, but he was a sharp guy. I think he was actually the one supplying.
He was one supplying. But the problem was, the other person who was also being supplied was
not sharp.
No, he was sharp, but he was related to to power. So
privilege. What? Privilege. By that has come from far.
Yeah. But no, like privileges, since you're a kid, they do all that stuff.
We sometimes forget and talk about white privilege, but we actually move around and it's
even that's around black guys. There are some guys, especially Africa. There are some guys who are well off.
Those things. The mere fact that we are sitting here on Friday talking, the guys haven't even recognized this as a public holiday. Bargains collar.
Yeah.
So for some people it's an opportunity because all the pigs that live in the general Namugongo area, the Catholics, those ends, they're not going to be forgiving.
But then Namugongo has been hard to access. Maybe after, I think, all that stuff is done. I think guys have started going home now.
Nah.
No.
Yeah.
That's why you go.
Guys
home.
are still there.
There's people who are still on the road trying to get to Namugongo. Some will even reach tomorrow.
Yeah.
There are fanatics.
How long does like the whole pilgrimage take? Because some guys come like a day before.
From Bara, the
Guys
Bara
be coming
people.
for, like 2 weeks, guys.
The Bara people.
No, I
take
mean
these
like
2 weeks.
like the interactive like days.
Oh, the official activity.
today is the real day. So how long?
let me have
How
a
long
mass.
after that?
They be having mass. I think since Monday they've been having mass.
Every day.
Yeah.
Damn. Why?
Yeah.
Faith. Remember when we were here and talked about faith? It sometimes shapes our society. Then people
way,
appreciate it.
I see old people like you see.
Yeah.
There's even actually some lady
An 80-year-old.
like she had just reached and she just died.
Yeah, but every year there are such stories.
Yeah.
Just you wait. Zungulu is going to have content for like a year. Just of today.
Yeah.
We are not even counting tomorrow.
I think
the
they're
entire
like
weekend.
they're like struggling. Like, what do we put in? What do we leave out?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, stuff is a lot. I saw a thing of some guy was sleeping on the pavement, and his body was like, this guy drank beer, and now he's resting.
Resting.
Like there'll be all kinds of stories and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, those guys enjoy. Because I've gone to that thing once. Yeah.
I've not had a privilege to go. But I think one day I will also go. It's on my bucket list.
Good luck. I don't know what can take me to Namugongo on such a day.
Some people actually get a healing. I've heard. I could get my healing.
With water and stuff. Like I know people who've gotten that water. And it worked for them. Obviously I don't believe in that shit. But like if something works for you, like
Exactly. It's like doctors and medicine. The first thing they tell you is, if the patient doesn't believe that you can heal them, you're better off not
wasting
treating
time.
them.
Medicine is medicine, man. If they inject you that shit, whether what, I tell you, don't believe.
Not
Maybe
every
But you
ailment
see-
is for injection, though.
there's also the psychological.
regardless,
Yes,
even when
psychological
you get like the right meds, the psychological angle also works. Like even like normal illnesses, because sometimes you can really keep quiet, and
You had line with
you
your
had
baby.
line. Because there's a time
With your malaria.
my mom refused to get medicine from some guy just because she didn't like the way he conducted himself. Exactly. The guy came in and like from the way she told it to me, I could tell the guy was trying to establish rapport. But I think she was already in this thing of Baninzi Zada.
And you
I've
may
been
find
waiting.
that guy was MBCHB, Master's
Masters,
Surgery, Pediatrics, MOOC, University of Leeds.
It's good. Like,
The guy has all his book qualifications.
Yeah, but
but
man is lousy.
just because of the way he said something, my mom was already resisting everything he was saying. I was like, oyo byagenda okukola sibitegeera na bitegeera what?
Mwesiga.
It's very
But
possible.
she was omanyi obwo obusawo obwo konna kato kalaba this guy knows this shit, but just because he came
Yeah,
he had
with
that
this-
life about him.
Yeah.
She wanted these things of jevale nyabo
Kati
kyekikuluma those kinds of things.
Kuvadi. Now this young gentleman. So we're going to do an examination. You're going to go to the laboratory.
You enter that room and undress.
Meanwhile, thingy, what I did at campus, it's for that lab stuff. Yeah, I think
Medical lab.
I think Omugate, like, all together, I only ever spent like 3 months in hospital. That's when I was like, you know what? This is not for me.
I think hospitals
no,
can be
wasn't your
hectic.
calling.
Guys come with all their problems. Not even like that doctor. The guy said he's seen like so many guys the whole day.
So like
now-
then you do this spin-off from medical lab science and technology and whatever medicine is concerned with it. What do you do that now?
Now I'm a web content writer.
Wow. Now that's
Real
a turn
pivot.
around. Yeah, that's a pivot.
Mchaka. But you see, very many of my clients, if not the largest majority, it's still people who are in like the medical field, because they always have like those websites. We are selling fitness things, health, you know, those kinds of things. So the chancellor.
Yeah, okay. At least
nice.
you have some knowledge. You don't just come.
The shilling is coming in.
Yeah.
The shilling.
Bad as it is,
Because it's a
coming
weird
in.
thing, because I love studying the sciences. Like, you put me in bios class right now, I'd be happy. Because, you know, it's so straightforward. I understand what's going on. The liver is doing this, it will never do anything else.
Yeah.
You know?
You draw the line with St. Louis IV and what he did.
Those kinds of
You
things.
know, I hate bias was my worst subject.
I like bios because, you know,
Lord.
I did it properly. Now, the problem with the arts, they are boring to study. You get? I hated
They have mob
literature.
jazz.
I did all that stuff. But I have a novel I'm writing, you know. Like, I enjoy practicing the arts because they are very easy.
I think exactly. I also enjoy the creatives, but I don't think I would go to class to study arts.
Exactly.
Like you enjoy reading novels, but you wouldn't read a novel for an exam.
Now,
Exactly.
you see the way we
Exactly.
studied literature? They're like, so, in this passage, what do you think the writer was trying to
What
say?
are the themes?
I'm like, bruh,
Bro.
when I'm writing my own book, I don't even know half the themes I'm trying to chase.
Here for a good time, not a long time.
They make me read the book, and it's
Yeah.
no longer interesting.
What is Chinua Achebe meaning by dry bones have been mentioned in a proverb to an old woman? Bruh.
No, but the thing I liked about Lit,
No, anyway, you need to tickle your imagination.
this one was this book, Song of Lawino. Over the sharp
Okot beaten.
breasts. Over the
The
Okot
lips,
face hugged
the
and
red.
felt the sharp breasts.
Yeah.
They're like, what do you think the author tried to portray? You're like, my nigga, that guy was horny.
And you see, the thing is, that man used to, he used to push his pinches. So, you can tell.
You could tell that he had seen all this probably at a bar or in on a counter somewhere or somewhere.
Or something had loosened this pen. Now he was just writing,
Just writing.
He had some fire though.
Yeah, but Song of Lawino is up there among the best poems I think a Ugandan has written. We don't have so many good writers around, especially writers of such kind of books. We have people who have written books like, let's say, Senta Mudumba, economics. We have good scholars. We have scholars who have written books, but novels,
Novels.
the Gakwandis, they're not as good.
The novels. I've seen this lady, Jennifer Makombi. Bruh, man, that shit is fire. Like whenever her new shit drops,
Yeah.
I would always try to make sure I get it.
I know what's weird is like people be talking about it, so it's obviously fire. Not like now you said it's fire. Even you, I think you've already told me it's fire.
And
But
probably when I get it, I will also want to read. Like when I land on it, I would want to read.
but I've never actively gone and said let me go and look for it. But I think I should. Sometimes you'll be like I'm going to go and look for it, but then you know how other things come in life.
Yeah. Because I like reading, but then these days getting physical copies of things I want is a bit hard. And for me, bruh, ebooks,
Ebooks don't work.
they don't work. First of all, when you get a new book and you first sniff it, man. That's
But
it.
also,
Also,
physical copy, you can sit anywhere.
yeah.
You can try to see it, whether it's you can sit anywhere, read your book,
Even
whether
on a
you're
road
in a car,
trip.
what.
You're not
But
going
now
to pull out your tab
phone,
or
you're
laptop.
reading in a
and
taku,
like this.
Plus the distractions are mob. You see one line, Mr. Jones of the Manor Farm. Then you see notification. Snapchat.
Oliwa.
You're there scrolling.
Of course.
Send me transfer.
Where are you?
And now you try is this plot worth it? Or should I just
continue reading?
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
I
a
didn't
big
know.
fan of the physical copy reading.
Yeah.
I don't know how kids of nowadays are managing, especially because it's the .com, then COVID came in. They had to kind of get used to learning with the laptops, get used to having books on the laptop and all.
But you see, the thing is, we are looking at it because we started with physical books, then transition. For them, they've been dropped right into,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
soft copy thing.
Yeah.
So for them, it's second nature. So they see you sitting with your physical book, they're like,
look at
no
this.
guy stole it. Why are you over Isaac?
Hey, this guy is so backward.
Going the extra
Get with
mile.
the times.
It's like seeing a guy, he listens to his music on those records. You look at him and you're like,
See,
why?
What are you trying to? No. They record.
Yeah, I tell now those ones.
But I would want one because they seem fire. I've been to someone's place and they had one. I was like, oh, but yeah, getting the records is the problem. And then when you get them, keeping them properly, because dust goes on them, things are very fine. Things like that.
The same way like we had CDs. I mean, it gets a scratch, then now all your music is gone, or whatever you had on there, your flick or whatever. So
there's something about vintage. There's something
much
about
better.
vintage, especially in the music technology. Even in producers, guys who produce music, there's some stuff they do, or there's some things that were created back then that are still relevant but have to be used on old technology. Like the Kanye's what. I just appreciate old technology as far as music is concerned. It's just that it consumes so much power. Most of those old they consume so much power, but they were actually really good.
But then they still sample those jams, even. Like up
I
to
get
now.
it. The old jams. There's what's this? There's a YouTube channel. I'm not sure which one it is, but there's like a series they used to run. Either it's Complex or one of those trying to be hip channels, where they'll go to a producer, then they take you to a record store, and and now you're doing your crate digging, looking for records. So most of the stuff you've never heard of. So you just gauge from the cover and like, hey, this may be a hit, So you choose like 3, you go home, then you listen to them. Then you get the one you like the most, and then make a hip hop beat out of it. Yeah, so that thing, you could see producers who knew their shit. Never
And those ones who are hustlers.
relying on tech.
So which producers have like
It was it.
for real what those bad guys?
Nah, usually they use these, very hip hoppy guys, They're not very pop. So there's somebody called Apollo Brown. He's a hard guy. They took him to his studio, and it was Charlie Chifulukwa. It was like a weird place. He had these pieces and it was like, because the guy is running Windows XP, and this show was shot in like 2016, 15.
What?
Yeah, and like you could see. By the way, shout out Windows XP. It was a hard OS.
Wow, Windows 7.
No, that and Vista. Vista was shit.
Don't know Vista.
XP was the last dope one. 10 was nice because when 8 first puff, the tiles were not really that far.
Yeah.
Anyway, this guy kind of had a hard beat, and we're like, okay, yeah. Like even when you scroll through our comments,
Guys were feeling his shit.
Guys were feeling it. They're like, hey man, guy is using old tech, but he's still getting it done. Then they brought one of these, young rappers.
We use mixers.
Hey,
Right.
and the whole thing was just like Muchoma that you've put too much spices. You're really trying to hide something.
Like you're compensating.
You're compensating
You're
for
creating
something.
bush for good wine.
That kind of stuff. But yeah, man.
When you should show me that channel, I think I may like their stuff.
Yeah, YouTube, it has almost everything, man.
YouTube has everything.
And you can know about a person, you just get their phone and open their YouTube. And like that first page just tells you who that person is. Because it just has things they've searched for, things they've watched. So it gives you like a quick snapshot of like a snapshot of
who is this guy?
who this person is.
Like mine, you just open. There's rugby sevens here. There's Liverpool here. There's Premier League highlights here, and there's some stuff about World War One and then World War Two.
Highlights of Salah crying.
Yeah.
Salah's crying.
But what I've been
This is
into
the most
these
difficult
days,
year for Salah.
Salah Bambi.
Even when he won some award over yesterday, the guy still posted, but I wish I could play the final again. I said, just move on.
The overjazz, that was a problem.
Yeah, the overjazz.
Start jazzing.
Overjazz.
That's why I'm here fearing for my
You jinxed
Warriors.
it.
They've been jazzing. I'm I'm like, bruh, mugenda tukubya.
They're going for the last games. The finals are on.
Yeah, finals.
They just played game
Warriors
one
and
today.
And Celtics.
it's 2-2.
1-0.
1-0.
Celtics.
Yeah.
1-0 for Celtics.
Yeah. And they just, rallied in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
And drilled off 40 points.
I
to
know. I
like
was following the
15.
thing. Like I was
like,
receiving like updates. I saw end of third quarter. I think Warriors was up 18.
yes, Steph was cooking.
8.
And of course, comments on Twitter, guys were like, "Steph is killing this guy.
Steph
Steph
is
is killing
cooking.
them." Next
Fourth
thing I
quarter,
knew,
the other guy's defense showed up. Held them to 15 points. And for them, they dropped 40
What?
in one quarter.
NBA is so
In
so
the
interesting.
Warriors' home.
I saw that none of the Celtics guys has played a final before.
Yeah, they're young kids.
Career start there.
They're young kids. Warriors guys are now old.
Yeah, they're all.
They're
They've
now
been
old.
around for a while. Steph has been playing. These are the
He's like, what, 34? Yeah, guys have been around for a while.
Then Batman LeBron never even made the playoffs. Man.
Still a hardy guy.
He's not
Yeah,
a
the
millionaire.
guy, I think he's
I just saw
be-
he became a billionaire.
Yesterday,
yeah. I think he'll
But
be
life can
inducted
be
in the
nicer.
Hall of Fame. I think.
Some of the things are
Sure.
sure.
Yeah, there's no way he can miss out. I think he makes like top 5 for so many people. Top 5 like NBA players ever.
Ever.
Yeah. He makes
Yeah.
like
If
top
he's
5
not in your
for
top
most
5, then really, what is wrong with you?
What is in your top
there were
5?
some hard guys back in the day as well. People who know like the Karim, is it Jabbar?
Yeah,
the guys.
Jabbar.
Yeah, the guys from then. They can tell you that LeBron still doesn't make top 5 as yet. But NBA is very interesting. NBA is
Most of that shit is nostalgia. Sometimes you just have to accept.
Some guys like old shit.
Sometimes you just have to accept that, mulembe gwa mweguyiseo.
This is new shit. This is new shit. Move on.
It's like
Move on.
guys bashing, these new kids like music style.
Yeah, like trap and Biggie.
But me, I don't feel that shit for sure.
Yeah, like there's some hits that
Take
you
me long
can
to
get,
like trap.
but yeah, when Lil Wayne's Lollipop dropped, watches they were not amused with how much we liked it. They were not amused.
Yeah.
But
It's
there are very many people who are not amused, and yeah, because I'm very sure you're a very good Lil Wayne fan. Yeah, same as me. Like a really, really hard fan. And the way we really like that shit, there are very many OGs who didn't like that shit.
Yeah,
We're like, no,
what is this guy doing?
what is it doing? You get it?
You know Enigma, the Ugandan rapper, even did a diss track, dissing Lil Wayne. Yeah. You know it. Yeah. He did a diss track dissing Lil Wayne.
Pissing in the wind. What are you going to accomplish?
No, but okay, that was like the whole point that so many people did not like what? Lil Wayne. Yeah.
So, when I see these kids with their young boy better, I'm like, hey,
Young
like,
Boy Better is he a
like
rapper?
there's that guy, he has like a multitude of kids. It's called over
Young Boy
young boy or some shit. Hey. So, kids actually feel his shit. But I gave it a try. I was like, hey, I can see where you're going with this, but
There's also
not
that
my
years of
shit.
those guys rap about drugs and what. But even they always rap about drugs. But maybe they
Yeah,
just
but I think they were the struggle incarnate. So they were struggle.
Yeah,
the struggle
that is very
was
true.
more about the struggle, really.
I don't really mind what you're rapping about.
it was about the struggle.
Just
not
deliver
about
shit
the
properly.
drugs.
Yeah.
Because remember when Pusha's new shit dropped,
Pusha T.
There's someone who reviewed that. Obviously, it was like a hippie white babe. And she was like, there's no maturity. He's still talking about, cocaine. What?
Those are you.
People like, it's Pusha. This is what we want.
Like if Pusha released an album talking about like what? Like I don't know.
Like
something
hoes,
else.
like hoes.
Things would be like, what's wrong with this guy?
But you see,
Give the people what they want.
Yeah. The brand is a brand.
The brand is the brand.
because that's all we want from Pusha. You're going to drop fire cocaine bars, guys are going to get fucked up. If I want my walk shit, I'll wait for Kendrick to drop.
Wait for Jekyll.
J. Cole. Yeah, that's the thing, So those things of they're not giving us enough content in the raps. They are singing about the same thing.
Yeah.
If you found your lane,
Just be there.
It's like so much
max
work
it,
out
milk it.
because not everyone is
Plus
going
there are
to
so
be
many
a
other
Kanye
rappers.
that you're going to have your finger in very different pies. Pharrell, you're producing pop, you're producing hip hop, and doing all that stuff. Yeah, if you know that, I know how to rap about cocaine. I have 1,000. What is that thing called? Are they similes? Are they analogies?
Synonyms.
Those things.
That was English composition.
Yes, many of them that just mean cock. You get? So I wouldn't mind that. Because everyone does their own thing.
Right.
But I just think the world now has changed. We force our people, our celebrities or our heroes to do what we want.
Yes,
Like,
because
not-
we have
they're
more
also
access to
human
them.
Yeah, because we have more access
Because we
to
have
them.
access, true. They're also human beings. Let them do what makes them happy.
Yeah, too late.
whatever.
But they also signed up for it.
Just signed up for it.
We
Like,
give them
because
money.
the thing is that
We're going to stream their music. We're going to
regardless
give them
of
money.
what you want, the fans will always wild out for you.
Yeah.
Even if it's right or wrong, they'll be like, nah, nigga, we're paying money. Hey, there are those people who
but usually
who went to South America or some place, and the fans were outside our hotel in the rain.
What's that?
I think it was Doja or one of those boobs,
not like
and she didn't perform because it was really raining at where the show was supposed to be. So she didn't go. Then these guys got annoyed. The fans, so they went to her hotel. And they were all there. Then first she came back. Then they were all saying, you don't care for the fans that are this side, just getting money. I was like, first of all, I didn't know you guys were even there.
Yeah.
For me, they told me shit wasn't there.
It was cancelled.
Yeah, they thought the thing was cancelled. So, those concerts of babes being carried away because Michael Jackson just looked down like that. The guy just stood up and looked over his shoulder. Guys are like, If it was like the social media era,
Imagine
a hard guy.
Imagine Michael Jackson in the social media era.
But you see, that thing is like a dam.
Bruh.
Everything was behind the wall. Then Akalito, they show us score.
Then you get so excited.
Then sometimes,
But
when
now
the thing
guys are not
just
so
breaks.
excited because these guys are always they are so accessible. Hassan who?
Hey, I know him.
People are saying white was witchcraft, but people are falling.
I've
you
seen
see,
that video.
Yeah, guys.
He was seeing these local
like
jams
their
and
guy.
guys were falling while they were possessed.
When guys like their guy here, man, they real wild out for that guy,
Yeah.
Because there, Yeah, but now the rise of all those Mustan pages, those things were not there.
On the Fireboy concert, there were people crying in front. When you look at those guys, it was so exciting.
abo bakozesa ebiragaragara What is that to cry? I can see your vibration. What is
I can see your vibe. But by the way, those Nigerian music, have you seen those guys think when you quote Kaize? It slaps.
Shit slaps. Because I don't really look for it. But there are times when Spotify gives you a playlist. Like, first try this and we see if you
Chill
like
mix.
it. And
Put in
and
some
you've already put some, focus plans. And the thing just hits you different and you're like, these guys know what they are doing. Yeah. Because every once in a while, I go and put on Yemi Alade's Johnny. Just. Because I don't know what Celebobo had done that day. But, those drums were crying.
Yeah, but I know Sele Bobo was the king of men are trash. He was the embodiment. He emblemishes what men are trash stands for. Mans was playing 6 of them. 2 were pregnant.
What's wrong with that?
Was he Johnny?
He was Johnny.
Auntie, Johnny God. So the song was about him and he produced
it.
it.
Been about him and he
Hard
produced
guy.
it. That's a hard guy.
now.
That guy is the one. I don't know what, but he's provocative and he's the one.
But there's nothing wrong with having 6 women, or even if they're all pregnant.
But yeah, new age producers and that shit. When was it? Yesterday. Remember that time at Smart League, there's that guy they brought, Lucas Black?
I don't think I was there.
There's that time when they brought Janzi Band. So he was like their
yeah,
opener.
Zanzibar, okay.
And, you know, the sound was a bit fucked up. But what I could get, I was like, oh, this guy actually has, you know, some fire shit.
Can't say again.
So this week I landed on his project. And you know, the first song was those talking things of, you know, welcome to the album, what. I was like, okay, let's see where this goes, you know, because many upcoming, like, urban music things in UG, yeah, they have a few songs they hit, Nenga, Project here, nice, a bit lukewarm, So this guy, the first jam goes on, I'm like, okay, it's not the normal cheated all the time. But the thing was, you know, I was like, okay, this is hard. Then, like, it reached the middle, that part where now the song is I did speak. I was like, oh shit, this is actually nice. And I was like, I hope it keeps on like this. Second song, fire. Third song, fire. I had to first pause. I was like, oh shit, who is this guy? So I went to check who the producer was. And it's some guy called Axon over.
Axon.
And bruh, I had to first Google and see what else he has done. I think because he had some other stuff over. There's that Tip song. I don't know.
Tip.
I think it's one of those songs.
Therefore, like when you decide to research about music, man, you go all in.
Yeah, because I want to see who is making this happen.
Like if a guy is making some fire shit here, he's probably making some other fire shit this side.
Like that is how I learn on, like, you know, random artists. Because like when I'm working, I usually, you know, you pull up like a Chrome tab, open YouTube, then put those chill whatever things, and they just be playing. Once in a while, you land on like a thing that was very well produced. Like, who's this? So, you know, you have to Shazam, figure out who it is. Then I just go to Spotify and see if they have other shit. And more often than not, at least you come up with at least 2 other hits if you not like the whole album. Things like that. So the more I do that, and that's the more I stray from mainstream music. Which isn't bad music, because down the line I finally, you know, like on that TL people might have been hyping a song. There's a time people hype Chimoli Changa. I'd never tapped the song. That's like once in a while.
Chimuli Change, Vinka, and
This
Kamili
guy.
Mwaji?
No.
Wala Chimuli Change.
This he's a guy. The guy of
Obitusi? Yeah, but it's Vinka.
It's one of those guys. The guy who had that thing where a babe was dancing to it in the middle of the street during lockdown.
In a green outfit.
So the guy who came that song is the one who has Timothy, which is totally different from what he did in the other thing. So that's why I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this guy is actually talented. So when I finally got down to the song, it was hard. It was like, oh, so I had to now go and check all these other things to make sure it's not, you know, an offside.
Just sometimes I think like because I also sometimes do that, especially now, like, you know, like when you've discovered a bunch of nice songs, then maybe you put them like in a playlist, then it plays, then Spotify now starts playing for you similar jams, then you're like, hey, okay, this is other fire shit, this other fire stuff, this other fire stuff, like that. But then sometimes now you meet a guy like you. Now for you even go and research, tell each other, whatever, then you go and
But you see, that's the beauty of music, We all enjoy it our own way.
Yeah.
Now, because you're a coal mine. You just call
I used
people.
to fuck with call heavy. But okay, these days,
But
not so
like
much.
the latest things, I'm like, hey, nigga, you can spit.
You
but,
can spit, but they are
I
better
think the
guys.
latest thing that I really like is that thing where my worlds now collided. J. Cole and then those Buffalo niggas of Griselda. You know?
Now for you,
And that's
Griselda, I think you, my nigga, Griselda, you always hyping those guys. But okay, they are dope.
like, if I hadn't landed on Griselda the time I did, I wouldn't like them now if I landed on them. Because I'd be like, oh, what's this shit?
Because now they've switched it up a bit.
Yeah.
There is a hand that keeps giving of like not mainstream kind of music, but so much dope music. It's not mainstream, it's movies. Movie soundtracks. I don't know, some guys go down and write very good soundtracks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know that can't be in music. You can't find that work anywhere.
Yeah.
You just have to know the song from the movie, Shazam, and get it. Bruh, I've got so many dope songs in movie soundtracks.
Yeah.
No
Movies,
one knows about them at all.
that is the thing. Because you just be watching, and then you know, like they change scene and they put something in the back, and you're like, oh shit, what's that? And you know, you have to first Shazam. And you're like, oh,
lead song.
yeah. Like you go to a YouTube video of the thing, and like the first comments are like, who is here because of, you know? And then, yes, people. Yes. Like that Michael Chiwanuka song, I think one of those fire things. I went to its YouTube thingy, and the first comments were like, who is here from, I think it was in which song? I mean, in which movie? I think
Queen of
7 Seconds or something. There's one of those series.
7 seconds.
Yeah, it's a slow burner for something. I watch a lot of things people wouldn't watch. Yeah. So the thing was, and like, you know, you find a lot of good music in series. There's a series that,
especially shows
that people don't really watch, like, you know, because I'm sure every one of us has our own content that,
Like,
yeah,
recently,
you couldn't put it on if your friends were around. It's like, because you know
let
it
me
will
keep-
kill the vibe, eh?
exactly
Things
That-
like that.
especially that's the thing about picking music that is not mainstream, and you decide to pick the aux chord. You don't pick the aux chord if you do not have mainstream music. Everyone wants to listen to Chimuli Change, you know, the usual guys, the usual
like
stuff.
recently I've been watching
CK,
some series called
Davido.
The Ranch. I don't know if you guys have you guys heard of that thing. But it's like, but it's like
I've seen the title, but I haven't watched it.
It's about like cowboys and let's say it's about cowboys. So
It's about a
but it's a comedy. Yeah, it's a comedy. It's sitcom, but kind of has a storyline, something like that.
very loose.
But it has really nice music, eh? And now recently, like, I just find myself listening to country music. You know, they play their country music jams. I have like a whole playlist every time, like, because when it's ending, they always have the new songs per episode.
Yeah.
Like,
I was going to check out its rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but I think I will do that later. Where do you usually get your ratings from to know that the movie is fire?
Yes.
I usually
Rotten
Google,
Tomatoes.
then I see
IMDb.
audience rating, because I really don't care about the thing is
You don't
the
care
critics.
about the-
Critics spoiled a movie for me. I was like, yo, I went in with already with this thing of this thing is going to be like this. Then you start noticing, eh?
Yes,
But
yes,
then sometimes
yes.
you catch yourself enjoying, and you're
Yeah.
like, this is the thing they said was fake.
This thing is dope. These are recommendations. Someone like Seth can tell me this series. I'd be like, okay, check it out. Then you watch, you're like,
I only stop
Either
on the
it's nice or
rating
it's
of
not.
either IDMB, the internet downloads something, then Rotten Tomatoes. Further than that, I'll be spoiling for myself. I wouldn't want to know what the critics are doing, whatever, because I also like watch limited kind of. My scope of watch is limited, detective and comedy. Detective comedy. Detective sitcom.
but I
Big
think
Bang,
there was
fresh
series
off the boat.
There was
I like
series
Big
I
Bang,
hate. Are those series where they try to bring in like worksheet. I hate that shit.
You're seeing they're real forcing.
They are
it, eh?
forcing it.
I like when it comes up naturally. I'm like,
Yeah.
so no later we're going to get here.
Yeah.
But the time when you're saying, man, they're really trying to shoehorn it in. Eh? Easy. You see, it's like Abbott when people are calling for it to add stuff about the school shootings. And you know, the babe was like, man, we made this thing. Why should black people always be about suffering?
We're
and
about
what?
suffering.
Yeah, this thing is chill.
Yeah.
But you know, at first I didn't watch it because people were over talking about it. I was like, let me first let it breathe. You know, then I watched like 3 episodes. I was like, this shit is actually fun.
Yeah.
Now imagine adding school shootings to it.
Hollywood is in a very bad place, or wherever we are going.
The West.
We are the West. We are in a very bad place. You are trying to be woke. You are trying to get out a very good movie. You have these parts in it where you have to depict someone as suffering. Your biggest population, you know it, which is suffering, or who is in prison, who is jailed, you know it. But you're forced to put in a white man to play that role. The film won't bang. But because you're woke, you have to do that.
Like
It will not come off natural. It's true. Black people is suffering. Black folk is suffering.
we're suffering over here. We are suffering over here.
You must do
Power to the people.
Do your thing. Do your thing.
like what's this thing? What was it? There is like the Avengers recently. I think now they have over
Doctor
She-Hulk.
Strange.
Ati over what?
I can't
I'm
keep
like, I can't keep up. I'm like,
Have you guys watched Doctor Strange?
I've not yet watched it.
The multiverse what?
The multiverse.
No.
I've not yet watched
I'm waiting for
I
the
think it
clear
will-
copy.
Clear copy, of course.
I was
You
also
know
saying
how we
I
do.
think it would slap in 3D. You're saying you're waiting for the clear copy.
Bruh, I don't know, but I failed to watch a movie in cinema because I want to pause and rewind because I like knowing what are they saying.
Exactly, yeah.
No, I can't do that. in
Especially
cinema.
for such movies, you want to be able to get what Cumberbatch is actually saying.
And sometimes you don't get the like the guy explains something. Eh?
Plus his
Those
accent.
more crucial parts where the guy explains how the plot fits together. Then you're like, oh, but
Now
I've
watching Tenet in the cinema for what?
Imagine.
You guys are just going there to fish yourselves. And that is it. I am telling you. What are you really watching in this Tenet? I waited for the clear copy to come. And rewinded several times because at some point it was like
At some point you're like, oh, where have we
put
reached?
up for your own self. Yeah.
Like what was that movie? Inception. Inception guys were like, I never understood it the
Leonardo
first
DiCaprio.
time. Oh, I had to rewatch it like 5 times.
Imagine you in the cinema.
But
Inception
when you
wasn't
sit
that
down and actually watch
confusing.
Inception,
Yeah,
you're like, okay, yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Tenet, yeah, it kind of makes sense. But I need like 3 more watches just to get the physics down. And I'm like,
I've
okay,
watched
yeah.
Tenet, I think, twice.
Yeah, same.
But
Like,
I think I need some more. So
I need to watch like
Just one more. So just one more.
like you understand everything until they reach that part of,
The take behind the bullet.
and then you're like, wait, what?
the bullet.
Like the first time I said
Hey.
getting confused
Okay, the take behind the
was
weapon.
that the catches. I was like, wait, what? Cars were going behind what?
No, there's that part where over the guy entered over the room, but over himself he had over just left.
Like
Remember
there was-
that part?
There
Like,
was that room where they used to
hey,
switch. Like
something
you go the
like
other side
that.
now, then you're going back.
man, those things, like,
No, that was the part that had a lot of rewinding because at that point they were actually explained. But then there's where they reach ahead and now they expect you to know how this shit actually works.
they're like, we've already explained.
Hey.
We can't rebound us. To
I'm
like,
like, I have to first pause this thing.
so I'll come back later.
It was not there. But sometimes you enjoy it. Yeah.
And that's why I would
Sometimes
rather
you
do
just
my
watch for
detective
enjoyment.
thing. Do my sitcom
True detective.
fresh off the boat.
But there are series
Jerry
that,
Seinfeld.
Seinfeld is
hard.
fire.
really hard. And I haven't given it time properly.
Seinfeld.
Yeah, I want to first give it time and
I've
see.
watched Seinfeld.
Because I've watched quite a few episodes and I'm like, yeah, this is too good for me to just watch on a bad day. Let me put it aside. There are series
I
that
watched
put
all
aside.
seasons of Seinfeld like consecutive, like without pausing.
Yeah.
Without
That's-
pausing. I think it was even lockdown.
That's how good it
I
was.
watched that shit.
You need to watch that shit.
You
sometimes-
already-
I'm the one
Right.
who recommended it to you. Am I the one who recommended it to you?
I'm not sure.
You know it's from the 80s, 90s?
90s.
Early 90s, yeah. So when I landed on it at campus, that was 2000. I'm like, everyone should know this. Almost everyone who was around me, whom I knew, watched like TV. Watch Jerry Seinfeld. Watch Jerry Seinfeld.
So they show about nothing.
Just there.
But after some time, they started getting a storyline.
Yeah, at some point, they have to put narrative interest because they're not just going to go there and laugh.
Just laugh.
No?
Because of the fans,
Yeah, because even Big Bang was like that. I reached some point and I was like,
No.
because today now they're going to be talking to us about the wedding, and that is how I kind of stopped. But
Like you get have incentive to go to the next episode.
things like that, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, same thing. It's that sort of stupid. But then they
Guys,
have
Grey's
to-
Anatomy guys have accepted.
Jam.
It was
Grey's Anatomy
time
is
to
like
go.
it's like the final season.
Yeah, it's time to
I've
accept.
never watched that shit. I don't have time
I've
to
watched
watch over 15.
I
How
think
many
I've watched
seasons are
2
there?
seasons.
15. I know the episodes that I want 400.
Oh my god! No,
Shit is
listen.
like an anime. 400.
I don't.
What's going on in that hospital?
for them, they don't. Do they like advance? I think they started as interns. I'm guessing.
Yeah. Why I stopped watching it?
18 years
I was
later,
halfway
they're
the
still
second
there.
season, and then someone told me about someone who dies, and I was like, yo, now why am I watching if this person is dying the next season? I was like, and I gave up on
This
that.
is the one I like. The person I like. Until they are dying next season, I'll be fine.
Because now, you're going to invest all your emotion in this thing is peke, you reach there.
You think that hurts?
Then they get
Now,
it.
how about the actor who gets called?
I think there's a way.
The
There's a
producer
way.
calls the actor, the director, rather, movie director calls there. So, Mark, you in the next episode you die.
No, I tell there's a
means
guy
what,
call
too?
you.
It means the end of the joke too.
Yeah.
No, some producers are announced. I mean, some directors they don't even call you. They just give you the script as you're still reading.
Yeah, like
Your character is dying.
most people see it in the script and they're like, oh, this is it. Some are comfortable with it. They're like, okay, yeah, the story was reach up to here. It was just not going to start declining.
Yeah.
Things
Then they
like
start
that.
bringing you back via flashbacks.
Not like Ozark.
Ozark.
The guys who died didn't want to die. They still want to be on set because
I
I
haven't
think
yet
everyone
finished
enjoyed.
Ozark.
I've not yet started Ozark.
Wow.
But guys, I've been recommending it since long.
I liked the first season. Second, I think I also liked.
Me
But
too.
then
the third,
there's
and
a time
fourth were
when-
kind of
this may sound bad, but the babe started over why is a king. I was like,
it doesn't know.
Now you guys are losing me.
Convo is really. Babe was. Some point I was like, you know what? We'll come back to you.
Shall be back.
Good thing these days, there's a lot of choice. You have options. You're like, okay, there's this, because the TV shows I've been told are good. You start it, you're like, okay, yeah, this looks good, but there's this thing me and my housemates say, it's very TV. You get it?
They are forcing some things. They're
Like-
not coming.
You can see the way they act, the way
Like there are things as if forced.
still being forced. There are those parts where they reach, okay, this is just normal. You reach them, there's like a bit of blackout on the screen. Okay, that was for the commercial. But then the show itself, some of the things are not really developed properly. Even, the blocking and the setting up of the scene, you can really see these guys are like acting, their MDD thing at
like low
school,
budget.
You're standing here, I'm standing here. Let words go forth between
Like
us.
the guy has
in
crammed,
this
he has
setting.
crammed the script,
Uh-huh.
and now it's
And then
just
they go
us.
like that. So now most of these TV shows, man, I start, then at some point I reach and I'm like, you guys have lied. The things of, I see people hyping All American. I watched All American, the first season. But even as I was watching it, actually the only reason I watched it, I had no internet and it's the only thing that was on my hard drive. I was like, well and good. That will have it. What I heard about the CW shows, everyone is good looking. It's
No,
it pisses me off.
Exactly.
Okay, not even pissing me off, but it just rubs me wrong. I'm like,
It's
there are some ugly people in society.
hey.
It's just not supposed to be like that.
You see those what are the shows? Vampire Diaries originals. I liked Vampire Diaries at first.
What was this thing of?
Then
Gossip Girl?
season 3. Gossip Girl I can understand because you're the elite. You have to look good. There are weird shows you get in and I'm like, really? This is how good everyone looks. Then you see the person they're calling ugly and they're like, come on, man. That's an A1 human being.
That is ugly in your town. You don't know.
Like, there are very many things they do, and I'm like, I get it, but yeah. Even the plot, sometimes they rush things too quickly, and I'm like,
They go through the plot very fast.
especially now, if I had started and I was invested, then you rush something. Man, why is Coca-Cola? I'm like,
They are doing you for.
hey,
What about Ugandan shows? You guys like?
I like Ugandan shows, man. Like, once in a while you kill a day on Pal Magic. And
Yeah. I've actually been introduced to them also this month. No, the previous month. That.
And the month has just started now.
Yeah, I was introduced to them in
You
May.
see how he's speaking in passive voice. He's not saying who introduced.
I was introduced.
He was introduced.
But it's okay. It's okay.
It is what it is.
We understand.
And there's actually some good work out there. But the bad thing is, unfortunately, all of them are like comedians.
Yeah.
The good guys are almost all comedians. So we do not have like very good actors. Some people can call actually actors and actresses in Uganda yet.
I think some are there,
They're there.
but opportunities.
Gary,
The Oreos are hard. First of all, that's territory, so we don't talk about them because it's kind of assured. They are hard.
Yeah. For them, they're hard. Of course, Lookman, that's another level. We're talking Lookman producing.
This
but the
couple, the
people we see on-
Nawisos,
yeah,
the
the-
Nawisos are hard.
Yeah, when we're on Palm Magic, the content we get, the best content is usually the comedians doing acting, but the comedians are
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, at first when I was watching Parliament, I really did not like these shows where, the script is in English, the dialogue, and you can see they're kind of, struggling with it, like they're reading lines.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
some
yeah.
point I was like, this is a different kind of, content, a different kind of art form. They've decided to put in English and, this is our Ugandan accent.
That's true.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
they're using Ugandan accent.
yeah,
They don't
Yeah.
force.
That was like, what? Actually, let me just watch this stuff. Because remember the first Hostel, like first 2 seasons of Hostel.
Hostel was hard.
That was solid. You guys used to feel hard guys, but they would take long in the dining hall trying to watch.
They were even chasing us.
Yeah,
Even our parents appreciated.
Yeah,
Hostel.
Hostel. Although, most of the acting quality stayed in, Omara's room and thingy.
Yeah.
The rest, it was more like the further it went on, then became about, aesthetics, putting hot women, to keep guys interested.
Yeah.
But some of those actors have actually come from far. Guys like
Omara.
Omara, yeah.
Nabwiso.
The chief.
Rachel.
Rachel.
She's called Rachel Nabwiso?
No, she's
She's
called
called Elena.
Elena.
Yeah.
Yes, Elena. Yes.
Elena Valerie.
Yeah, and I think the
She
husband
married
too,
that guy. She
the
married
husband too
Gilo.
was on the set.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she married Gilo.
Yeah, she married him.
Married him. And he now produces that show. I think he produces that show.
director.
Sanyu, where she acts.
Yeah.
He writes
I actually have a feeling
director.
she's more the proponent but behind their thing, because first
She's the hands-on person.
yeah, she's really into the industry, like
Yeah,
she
yeah,
really
yeah.
wants it to develop and stuff.
I feel like both of them.
Both of them, yes, but having
you have David Cameron and you have Leonardo DiCaprio. Who stands for the industry more? But the other guy has produced.
Everybody plays their role.
Yeah.
DiCaprio would not be killing it these ends if he didn't have a fire director.
Exactly. They
that's
need each other.
true.
They have to.
Yeah,
They need each other.
But at the end of the day, the lady, I think, is quite a force.
Yeah,
to reckon
she's a
with.
good
Yeah.
actor, but I think she kind of does it
like
she's
leave the acting alone,
multi-talented.
because acting she's hard, but producing making shit work, because there's bringing all this equipment and and it's there,
And the actors are
but
just shit.
letting people work, which is getting a very good first assistant director, because that's the guy who your cast and crew will hate, because he's the one who is
He plays
actually
bad cop.
He'll be the one saying, cut, rebound.
he's the one who gets you guys to go and do shit. So like bringing all that together, I have a feeling she has that.
Especially on our budgets in Uganda.
Name for 2 years. They told us to be at 2:30. You see the time we were here. You get. Those are things that you need someone who is like, wait, you're not going to be here to
Professionalism. Tell the guy
Which is
two.
something
and
we
the guy
really
two.
lack in Uganda.
Someone, you stay in bed because it has rained. You call in sick.
I don't have a car.
I don't have a car. That stuff you can't even judge it in Kenya. You can't even say that in Kenya.
The worst part with the rain excuse is even if the rain rains for like 30 minutes, people just cancel the whole appointment.
Yes, the whole
Yeah.
day.
Like, bro,
Actually, usually if I'm going somewhere, if it starts raining, at least I get ready and I be like, when it's easy, then you do what?
You go.
But there's some people who just chill.
First of all, there's those who won't tell you. You know? You just wait.
And then there are some guys who cancel, and then they don't tell. They be like, "No, we trained. You could see." You're like, what the hell?
Kind of unprofessionalism. You just imagine you are director of a movie. You have this set.
You have deadlines. You have what?
Palma DSTV is cool.
You have the location for so long, you know? Like,
You
we're going to give
you
2
find maybe
hours.
some of the
Yeah.
equipment is higher.
Actually,
Or like,
also
you know,
noticed that most of our movies are acted in the ghetto.
Yeah. Yeah.
It means it's even difficult for anyone to give you their home.
Yeah.
To shoot a very good scene in
Yeah.
like a good home. Have you noticed? I was telling him. Have you noticed that most of our movies acted like in the ghetto? It basically means even putting a logistic of having a dope home, dope ass house to have like that kind of scene is also that difficult. I imagine
but like
someone messes
these
it up
other
because
shows,
it rained.
like you've watched Sanyu, they act in a like fly house and stuff.
Yeah. I was saying most statistically, most of the stories are usually.
Yeah, that is true.
It depends on one.
I would understand Mozigo Express.
It's fire.
But even
It's
with
fire.
Lukman usually tends to also find most of around the ghetto.
Yeah. Sometimes it depends on, you know, the story. There's that thing when we were, I think we're still in high school. Remember the Bobby movie that came out? Bobby had a movie.
Bobby Wine.
Yes. There was a movie, and you know,
I think what I remember was him trying to do a reality show instead.
and now way before the reality show of Mubanda Wakabaka. He had a movie out. They even sold CDs and shit. I bought one. That thing was hard. It had all those guys, the entire cabinet of, you know, Uganda.
Yes.
All those guys. All these guys of, who was the Minister of Agriculture, these Chiwoko people, Simanyo Mpalula, all those guys were there. You know, they were caning their thing. It even sorted properly because you'd hear the seeds popping.
Like this guy of Wakaliwood.
But their thing was nice, you know. It had story. They were in, you know, Kamocha. So I don't think they had to pay location. And it was well put together. Obviously, now that was back then. You know, shit was still, you know, the Rubber Dubber video of Wechiri looked better than it. Go on YouTube and check it out. That thing is like in 240p.
By the way, those old videos of those days.
Yeah.
Low quality.
But the shit was hard.
Yeah.
You know, guys were bumping,
yeah.
scarves.
They told us the story. We could tell the story as well.
But for me, I think my best show like in Uganda right now is, have you guys heard of Prestige?
Yeah.
Prestige is like, I like the storyline. The acting is dope, and I don't know. I watch that shit every day. For even when I don't watch, I go like to the app and follow it.
The thing with that stuff is, if you sit down and give one episode time, true, yeah, you will find yourself back. You're like,
Because
this thing is at what time? And you'll find yourself there all the time.
I'm not missing any of the Mozigo Express anytime soon.
That's
Now,
the thing
Musical
with that one.
Express
It
is a
really
challenge
catches
for
you.
me. Musical Express is a challenge for me because it's usually at the same time as news, and I rarely miss news. Like I don't watch news, so I'm really conflicted.
The
Thursday
news,
and
the
Friday.
news is so depressing. I have no reason
I
to.
haven't watched news in a while, which is a very stupid thing. But
Yeah.
reach a point and they're like, man, Bulika say like you.
Every time sad news, every time sad news.
Yeah.
There's never anything, you know, positive.
Yeah.
If it's positive, it's in sports, and that's at the end of news.
but
So you have to first sit through all this gruesome stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes you have to watch that stuff to know what is like the BS people are doing.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's also good to know what's actually happening around you.
You know, and you discern for yourself which is a propaganda, which is not.
Which is not.
Because there's a time when multi-choice is demanding you money for the next subscription, and like,
And they have that annoying thing of 5 days left. Or 5 days
So,
you
you
want
know,
to
you
go.
first spend some time on UBC, and I was entertained.
And dish.
Like I watched UBC and I was like, okay, yeah, like you could tell where the propaganda was immediately. Like, okay, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
But like these things of projects happening in UG,
You
I
got
did
to
not
get-
know that, you know, there were like factories somewhere doing stuff, and you're like, oh, yeah, the
Some
parliamentary
stuff is
sessions.
actually working.
The
And then they
sessions.
show parliamentary sessions. Yeah, and you watch and you're like, okay, this MP speaks sense. The other guy,
I've been looking out for guys who are dozing. You're like,
Nowadays they no longer show.
see your
They used
area
to, now they no longer
MP.
show
They
them.
no longer show
Yeah, they
them.
no longer show them, but they used to back in the
just
day.
to show the guys those.
Yeah.
I've never watched parliamentary. Okay, I like when I'm scrolling through, I see, but I've never really sat down and said,
That's
okay,
no
watch.
UBC slaps different, especially with where the economy is right now. Like there's no one paying for premium anytime soon.
When you're watching
There's
UBC,
Oh, so you pay for premium.
Yeah, sometimes, especially when there's a
Formula
season
One.
is going on. Yeah,
yeah, even
Formula
if
One,
I have Formula 1, man.
yeah. Now, like in December, why would the type pay for premium? You have DSTV, you have Formula One closing up, you have World Cup rather, you have Formula One almost getting done. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you want to?
Then there are those.
Then
Okay, I
there's
think this time
rugby,
we'll
rugby.
have
And there's also
there's
rugby, yeah, cricket as well.
because now NFL season is going to begin, so I also have to pay.
But you guys,
So-
NFL is even on compact.
and I think
Yeah,
also when you
yeah.
pay for premium, you can watch NBA like on DSTV.
It's also
Compact-
on,
Compact
it's also on
Plus.
compact
Compact
plus,
Plus,
compact,
yes.
compact plus.
Because as long as you can get both ESPNs,
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Okay, I
Yeah,
want
you get-
ESPN too, because the other one is
Yes, the
Not
first
in
one
HD.
is just there.
a bit bougie like that.
Have you ever noticed that sometimes you put on a movie and you don't like it just because of picture quality?
Yeah, that's when I
But the
realized.
story hasn't changed. The story is still dope, but the picture quality is messing your whole vibe.
You're like,
You can see guys' pimples. What?
need that shit when it's clear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, this is the lighting. They wanted it from this side. Let us see what things like that.
Higher things.
Yeah. By the way, let me tell you, when I'm watching movies, and like I've noticed this since like COVID, because there's a time when my entire YouTube lineup was behind the scenes, because I like knowing such shit. You know, I was like, okay, how did they do this? How did they do this? So I watched The Irishman. Yeah, I gave myself 4 hours to kill. I was like, let me sit and watch this shit. And you know, it was made specifically for Netflix, so it took up the whole screen, you know, HD, and like you can tell some things is doing, and you're like, okay, yeah, I get why they did this. I get why they did this, and the tech that went into it. So I don't know. Sometimes I watch movies not to.
Sometimes you watch a movie and like, man, the thing is too nice. You begin looking for trivia. Which other movies has this actor acted in?
Yeah.
How did they do this?
Because for me now it's the cinematography itself.
Yeah.
You get it?
There's so
There's
many-
some camera moves they
Yeah.
make, and I'm like, how did they do this?
There's so many things that happen in the movie, and I'm forced to go and watch the behind the scenes. Go to YouTube,
Yeah.
look for behind the scenes, and I'm like, sure, these guys were dying of laughter.
There are things like that. You know, you have to see. There's this movie, it's called 1917. It's probably one of my best movies, like the
It
last
was a
2
World
years.
War One movie.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a World
I
War
think I
One
watched it,
movie.
yeah.
Where, fun thing about that movie, the camera never went backwards, if not even once like this. If you notice when you're watching it, the whole time they are moving to where they were supposed to go. If you notice it, the whole time they are
Facts,
moving.
facts.
Yeah, like
The tanker.
none of the scenes
soldiers.
show the camera going back, like, you know, where these guys have been.
Eh.
They are always going forward. So yeah, the set was big. They had to go and dig fields and stuff. Then they just walked.
Or maybe they would like shoot, then they reach somewhere and they pause, they come back. Then
There
they
was no
edit,
coming
edit.
back.
No, they edit and make it seem like they're
No.
keep
So
going
here's the
forward.
thing, because you know they were nominated for awards because of this shit. I think they have one of, if not the longest uncut shot. And
1971.
yeah,
1917.
1917. Hey, hard thing. I was like, okay. When they were showing, like, you know, how that guy made the lighting for that car city that was being bombed, I was like, bruh, man, to Charlie, what?
Rare movies.
First of all, Umeme would have Jack. I'm telling you. Some of that stuff, yeah, like, Tucha ina wanjinya
Yeah,
ukola.
well, of course we still have a
that's
long
true,
way to go
that's
for
true.
sure.
Because there's one of the last scenes where the guy gets out of those Vitanos. Then he starts running towards the person he was supposed to send the message to.
Yes.
And that was a whole, you know, towards the end.
Yes.
Yeah. So that guy actually ran. There's a point where you would see he was really tired. And then he bumped into one of the extras. Those guys were going over. But the camera couldn't stop because they had practiced this thing very many times.
Yeah.
So they knew what speed they were supposed to go at. So, he bumped into one of the things and he fell down. Yeah? Then he had to get up and continue running because first of all, they were low on the explosives. That was the last batch. So they had to get their shot.
Yes.
So they knocked him, he got up and he started running again. And
the letter he was taking was that there was already an ambush, something like that.
I remember
things
that
like
movie, yeah.
yeah. But then, so I watched the behind the scenes thing. That camera came from the thing, from the tunnel where they were. Now, the guys were handling it. They had given them, they were bumping like the extras. They were putting on the same stuff. So that when they got out of the thing like this, they handed it to the guys on the truck. And then the truck just started moving. So if they were not putting on, if they were still in their normal thing, you would have seen them.
That is a change.
So now they also just look like extras. You get? And this guy started running. Bruh. The guy said, Ngakoye. He was really tired. But it was a nice movie.
It was a nice movie. Yeah, he was able to take the message and the ambush that didn't happen. They didn't go on to go and attack them.
It was a nice movie. But you see, that's not a movie you would kind of recommend to many Ugandans.
Yeah,
of course.
Some of the things where, you sit.
I've actually that cassette where I downloaded from, I've seen 1917, but I was like, like when you read like a description, you're like,
yeah, because there's some really nice things.
Like, dear.
There's some things you see. Now you see like, what other thing you said? Girl in the yellow jump.
Yeah.
There's some scenes you see and you're like,
Look, man,
okay, yeah. I can tell that, this wasn't like out in the real world or something. But you reproduced it well enough for me to believe.
Yeah.
Now, like the car scenes when they were like in the car,
Driving.
Okay, yeah, I know you're not driving, really, but
you try.
I can believe it.
I can believe it.
I can believe it. Just that I'm overlooking, but I can believe that.
You're overthinking, you're overanalyzing.
I mean, like this scene where he's held in the building like this, as if the scene from Gangs of London. It did have to, but it is also something. It's don't you give him credit, much as you brought a scene from somewhere else and redid it.
You see, the thing with
but you can
directors,
borrow ideas. From
you can borrow ideas. Some directors have this thing of, I learned this new stone, so I have to put it in regardless.
I have to put it in regardless. They must know that I know it.
There's this new of panning, do like this. I have to put, even if the scene doesn't need it.
Let me just put it.
Kind like, like those Hitchcock zooms. Like, no, it's not needed. You can tell your story regardless. But, I appreciate the effort though.
Right.
Yeah, things like that.
I think the biggest strength a person in the creatives can have is the ability to read the room, or the ability to know the audience and give them what they actually need. And the ability to actually bring them first before themselves. Bring your audience first before you think about yourself. It's the biggest strength as an art person or someone who is in the creatives. When you fail to know that, however talented you are, you cannot go far, or you cannot touch very many souls of people.
In every form of art, writing, singing, you have to cater to the audience.
That's true.
You have to cater to the audience, because even like in writing,
That's
if you're sending things up for Google,
that's what we're talking about, the music thing. That Pusha T has so many, cocaine what? Cocaine songs.
it's
And
cocaine
guys-
song.
Yeah.
I'm like, but yeah,
Okay,
that is what we know.
Yeah, that's
That is what we want.
Continue.
Simple.
Continue, please.
You get those kinds of things, because you're not going to expect what Misach to give you a John Black song. Hey, he'll give you Sigwan similar, and you know where
It will
it's
still
from,
slap.
because he had these problems with Ndagire, and there were like 3 songs.
Hey, that song came from
There were
that.
like 3 songs in that Calaf triangle. There's that Chichi Omvuma. Oh, that was one of them, because she was all being humble and what.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, like Ankwanike. I'm telling you. Yeah.
His man's married now, though.
I was
Right,
in
that's
campus
the
with
richest guy.
one of his kids.
Hey, he's
And he really looks
think-
like him.
I think the only back and forth I know in UG was that Baby Cool and Bobby Wine.
Yeah,
Where
that
they-
was
I think
fire.
where
But
I
I'm
think-
telling you, first go back.
Uh-huh.
Look for Chichi Mvuma, look for Sigwa and similar. I've forgotten what the other one is, but they're like 3. And yeah, if you just tap Sigwa and similar alone,
Yeah, Sigo Sim, of course I know, but I thought Sigo Sim was just like a song he just did like.
nah, this was a whole story. It was a whole, just know they had been dropping.
That stuff is annoying. Where guys
Yeah.
dissing and it's a hit song.
And that's the thing. That's why we first kept quiet. But these people felt, the two berets, they first put their small things, we chill. And, they thought the guy would chill. The guy was, he was biding his time, pola. Then he was like, Nemwana, Moge Denyo. Came and gave, first of all, it was a hit. That was the bad part. It was such a hit. Kumanga, you be those ends, they're like, hey man, they released a diss track about you.
When you first listen
Put it on, man.
even you
Even you were like,
and the worst thing is even like you've moved on from the beef. You reach like a party and some guys just randomly playing it. You're like, shit.
Gwe, I am telling you. They had this song.
We had these songs and Drake likes that stuff. He disses you, and he puts that like the lines that are dissing you in the jam that he knows will be a hit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because you see Thingy, the Eminem and Mariah thing. Yeah, Obsessed is a hit.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Oh my god, Eminem.
Do you know? Do you still know the song Eminem sang, the one that was dissing?
the one of what was it? I've forgotten the name,
just
but I
stop
know
there.
it.
What was it?
Okay, he was just rapping.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. He was
So
just rapping, but still people will play Obsessed right now, and guys would still like. Guys would still.
Because
So obsessed with me.
very fire. He's like a guy in the video. The days of when music vids had, plot.
Yeah. The video.
Why these music videos? At least you would watch it. It was like a flick, easy.
Yeah, but now we have to deal with Ariana Grande.
And
That
Megan
was
Thee
a
Stallion.
And Megan Thee Stallion, bruh. I don't know, but I don't know, man. It's not like I'm hell bent with the times, with our times back in 1990, 2010 and all. But no, these
But
guys can do a
which
better
female
job.
rappers do you fuck with?
Which
Female rappers.
female rappers? Actually, where are female rappers?
Okay, apart from Nicki.
That's been a while. I no longer listen to Nicki.
I stop listening to Nicki.
The ones that I listen to are not really.
Yeah.
They're not really like pop. You get? It's mostly like people you find like like when you're looking through like underground stuff, then you land on someone and you're like, oh, okay, this is some hard shit. There's some babe, she's called. There's one of the babes in the Griselda thingy. I don't remember her name. They also have a poet, some babe. She's fire. Yeah. Says some of the hardest shit, but in like a mellow voice. Yeah. Then some babe called Jendo. She's not really that whatever, but she's good. Oh, and there's a Ugandan. I'd forgotten. You remember that song of Taka Oban, who they were in that video where he was in like a overall and something.
Yeah, UG's Most Wanted.
So there's that babe who had that verse.
What Tush?
Tush, whatever. That's the password. Yeah, that's one of the hardest verses I've ever tapped. And I really listened to a lot of music. Because there's the way she slipped from the English and went to Uganda, and it was some of the hardest shit I've ever tapped. I was like, yo, I should look for that song and listen to it again. But I told that I was like, man, tell this person wherever they are, we appreciate.
We appreciate.
Because she said some, there's some things that can be deemed a bit vulgar, but the way she presented them, Uganda is very good at hiding. Hiding things.
And you like that stuff.
Yeah. Like, the language is so rich, man.
Yeah.
You can practically say anything.
That's the stuff Seth is always saying. English doesn't. That is not very good, but
The thing is, English is so plain.
so they are there.
We always argue it's just because we don't know English. we like don't know the words exactly that.
You want to be like Mukasambi, the one mission, some hard words.
You don't need to say all that stuff. You know. You have
And
to-
the thing I like with like the local languages, let's say like Luganda, like someone can say something that seems like it means something else. Don't you really think about it? You're like, first wait, this actually means this. You get it? Like, and I'm sure you have a bunch of examples, but yeah, that's
Even
the
like,
thing
now,
with
like
the
the
local
word
languages.
weteze. Weteze has like 2 meanings or 3.
very many.
Very many. It's so rich, and perspective also matters.
Yeah.
What exactly.
Like you have to be there when it's being said to know what
To
it was
understand
meaning.
like context.
Yeah. Context matters
Things like
a
that.
lot.
That's why I've started reading. I've been looking through a lot of like Ganda books, just to see. You learn more things when you, because these days, man, you can't be with like your grand relatives to teach you those things.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
So
times
you have
are
to
gone.
find a way to learn them.
Uh-huh.
The fireplace is normal. That's why we used to tell our stories,
Fireplace. Oral tradition.
Yeah.
Cause actually, back then, you remember those days of Lelo Gafe, Chassi Gafe, of UEB, where today you'll have the power, tomorrow you will not. So on those days when it wasn't there, they would put on either a candle or these big blue lamps, and you have to entertain yourselves. As kids, you have to entertain yourselves, and and we'll tell all those stories, or what will come, lie to yourselves properly, and it was fun. Because recently I found kids playing a game that I hadn't seen in a very long time, where you sit and your legs are all there, and then one of them is counting, like singing along like a song. So where the song ends, you remove that leg, and then whatever again. I was like, okay, this is very basic. But then I was like, but this shit was lit.
I don't know why that shit was lit. Why our games, our games were funny, like hide and seek now. At a tempo, Overwatch. Why would we say tempo?
Tempo.
Tempo. It was tempo.
I've tapped you.
I've tapped you, tempo.
But the hardest one that I remembered it recently. Have you played Kakebe?
That's what.
Kakebe was the hardest thing.
Kakebe.
Because then
Well, when
the
the guy
guys,
kicks the-
now you're sitting,
someone-
but there's one guy who's still hiding, and you're all rooting for him. So this guy is going, looking, you're trying to distract the guy. Then the guy goes those ends, and you call the other guy, comes and kicks the thing, and then
the guy was be looking for guys gets pissed.
He has to get pissed, man. No one wanted to be the one looking.
Also, how would they select the guy to look?
Yeah, it's like the same when you'd select a keeper. Just look for the fake G.
Like you're the one. You look
Like
for
you're the
that. Then the next day the guy is like, yesterday it was me. Today I'm jam.
Then you guys be like, nele yote tugenda zanya Kakebe. Then you go and you get the leaves from the jackfruit tree and you make planes. You start running around with your propellers.
Then you run, then the thing rotates. Then some guys like, but mine is not rotating.
Those guys. Use the wrong leaf.
Or he cut his thing badly. Oh man, those games are.
Good
Or like the thing he passed through is too tight.
And then those purple thingies which you use for guns.
For guns.
Guys would be creative with that shit, and guy makes a gun with like more shit.
I had a gun, It had, these big drums that, at the bottom for like rounds. What I did, I got T-box after. We went to the garden, and I cut down the banana leaves because I wanted those wee stalks. Put them properly. Then I went and got the broom we use outside, removed the caraba ban so that I could get some of those
Then you left
and
them
use them
sticks
to
there.
whatever. So I left those sticks there. the banana thingy had lost like like four good dagger without trips and shit. But I like the gun.
And could have been plotting them like for cook supper.
Guy. Oh, yeah, I came back.
The chiboko that rained.
Like I I didn't even complain. But I was like, okay, yeah, I really did some fucked up shit. But it was worth it.
And the guy is like, you refuse to die. Okay, you shoot me again and I die.
No one wanted to die.
I wanted to die.
But you have to make your own fun.
You have to make it.
Because there's no way you're going to play paintball.
We had no smartphones. We had no computers. Like,
All kids talk about nowadays is Minecraft and
PlayStation.
PS.
These days having a PlayStation, man.
Uncle
Mark,
come on, we'll play Minecraft.
What? How do they play Minecraft?
I don't even know.
First of all, I don't know what Minecraft is. I just keep seeing
I just hear it or
something that, it's a bit pixelated and thingy.
Me too.
Because whenever someone says Minecraft, the first thing I think of is Minesweeper. Then I'm like, oh, no, not that. But it's weird.
I don't know.
Tisma.
I don't know. How long have we been on? Good.
Let's go for the weekend.
Go and enjoy the weekend. 1 hour 25 minutes. I think we can record it around.
Yeah, we can record it
Like,
around.
we can
It
enjoy
was
the
what?
weekend.
Can enjoy the weekend.
He's now happy. Look at him.
We shall see. Alright.
What did we talk about?
More shit.
A lot of stuff.
Actually,
Mic tape. Jamaica's check back. Everything is kawa. I read the set as a Kenyan.
this is what we came for.